Hello and welcome back to Vintage Story on the Aura Fury server, and this is the new Mystic Winds, and it's taken me a little while to kind of find my place around here, but just recently kind of came across a couple of these guys and got my first temporal gear, so I'll handle that because we're far away from spawn, so we can go inside our little kind of temporary-ish place. I finally got some bronze and bismuth bronze started. Got the saw is a big thing because now I got a barrel and I got a bunch of salt that I found and a chest, of course, because that's like really handy for getting storage going. Got a few vessels done up with clay and a couple little odds and ends done. Finally got enough stuff for an anvil, so I finally feel a little bit more situated here. So now I don't have to worry if I die. Been kind of sticking safe to it. Kind of have to do that first. So kind of looked around my area a bit. I had looked around a lot more, but I gotten rid of like my map stuff because I was trying to work with the mod. And so I have a bunch of different points and stuff that I've kind of been trying to look for some different ores so I can kind of get an idea of things. And then hopefully gather some stuff around here. So I got a little bit of stuff still, and get a few more things. Can still make some more bismuth bronze stuff, so I'm okay for now. Yeah, it's a little bit of bismuth. It's the other bits. So I gotta make some more tool stuff. I just got a few copper things. And I think I can make pretty much what I want on here. A couple odd things in here that I just don't know about, like some different swords. I don't know. I'll probably get into a bunch of this. Some of the new mods that are on this server specifically will have some extra things here. But I got a lantern done. So I had already done our plate there. And I'm going to need to get a couple more stuff down here shortly. So outside, I kind of have a bit of an idea. I want to put some stuff around the edges. Oh, of course, another rift. They like to be around my house anyhow. And so I want to put a windmill that goes up there. And we'll detail the house later. It's just kind of temporary. Found a bunch of borax in the area, so that's going to be kind of interesting. That's always kind of a pain in the butt to find. I have my kind of temporary pit kiln and all that kind of thing down there. And then right in my area, with a couple little friendly drifters down here, I have some black coal. So that'll be interesting. And I don't really think there's much over there, but got a little cave thing there going on there. I do have some bees that are kind of up in this tree. It's kind of a real pain because he's really high up. And probably actually be easier with ladders, probably. Yeah, there we go. Slight lag on the server. If you have a lot of people, it will be a lot of lag, but that's okay. So it's like up here in leaves somewhere, but I might stick a scap up here just kind of like for an emergency scap. But basically I have some started over here in another tree that's really close by, so that I can get some bees going and get more lanterns and stuff, because you're gonna need that. And apparently I left a log all by itself right here. Now I've taken down one of those, but not too far. Planted a couple pine trees for just extra wood stuff. And one of the things I like about in this area, there's not many of them, but there's a few walnut trees. And I didn't see any in the last server because it kind of just got implemented, and of course you would have gone really far away. A couple big oaks, a couple big maples, makes it kind of nice looking around here. And of course I had a little ancient pillar. It attracted me to here, but it wasn't necessarily why I decided to be here. I liked it because it was relatively flat and it had a bunch of trees and stuff around. It got animals around, had a little bit of water, got my little temporary holiday place. Bunnies love being around here. This one's just kind of sitting there and taking a nap. So I'll do something up around here. And thinking of where to put things. That always takes me a bit of time. Got some tails down here, so I can harvest. Kind of thinking maybe in here we put the house, so to speak, so that you can kind of look back at the windmill area. And you gotta have a place for crops and such. So I'll have to figure that out, where to put that. And you're gonna need a couple pins for animals and such. So we'll figure that one out too and get a little bit more collecting done. And I, of course, got a little bit of armor. Gotta get more. Got my little farming hat on. So I'm good to go with the farming bit anyhow. Alright, so found a nice little hole while I was exploring and looking at things. I'm doing the enchanting, put down the rocks. I didn't even think about that before. It's great if you're really, really far down. Good idea. But I found this nice bit of iron. It's the first bit of iron that I've come across with a good percent. So I started digging around here, getting that bit done. And so I have a good bit still to kind of dig out around here. Still so new I have to use my pickaxe to dig things out. Even though we have a blasting powder, I have found a little saltpeter. I have the coal, but I need to crush it. I haven't found sulfur. So I think I need a pulverizer for that. And finding the sulfur, of course. So it'll be a little while before doing that. Alright, so a nice little tip is if you put up your like character or inventory screen, you cannot have your whole perspective change on you. It'll keep it stationary so you can kind of work with the pixels a little bit better, and sometimes that works out. Makes it a little bit easier, but that's one of the things I like to do at the beginning. It's like, hey, since I had the lead, really easy to do, and I think the black will look good because I want to use basalt and some of the stuff. So we'll start doing some of those lanterns. Got a tiny pile started, just a tiny pile. It's gonna take me a bit of time. Got a little bit more things accumulated here. I want to make a little dummy here so that we can put it out with the bees, and now we can do that tomorrow morning. Finally getting to the iron, so now we can collect some of that and heat that up. I was concerned about it because it has such a high melting point that I was thinking, oh no, I don't have any fuel that would work with it. So I was kind of concerned, but I think I can do it with any of it as long as it's brown coal, black coal, charcoal. I don't think there's anything hotter, but we can get this guy all heated up and then figure out what to do. I have so many things to do with these new tools, and because they're going to last so much longer than all the other stuff, I get kind of confused. So there's a few different things. I still don't know what a padlock is for, but got the oven doors. I have no idea what the hoop is for. Got the anvil we need to think about, so I can't use up all of the iron on all the fun stuff. So stick to the simple one, which is pretty simple. The chisel and some of the knife, it's pretty straightforward. Carve out little bits, and got a chisel because really I'll need that sort of stuff. All right, next day, took down the fence. And I put up an actual real field because I figured, well, I'm going to probably need a lot more because I'm going to need sails and stuff eventually. So, and then I finally got enough skips going, and a couple of them are not populated yet. They're empty because I put them down recently, and I only have like a handful that are populated, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But once they're populated, it's really not going to be hard to replenish them. So they seem to be a pretty good population if they're not too new anyhow. And I don't want to grab ones that are going to swarm because those are the ones that are going to go into the new hives. I think I have pretty much enough flowers. I mean, you can really jam pack it. I kind of want to jam pack it. It makes the map look pretty anyhow. So that guy's going to swarm later, so that's good. Just grab a little bit here so we have 2 plates in the house, and that means I can make 2 candles from 6 honeycomb. We got a new barrel down here. We're gonna put some compost in that later to help with the farming, because if you can get started with that stuff early, that always helps. And then I remade some of these. Having one of these already pre-made is pretty useful whenever you want to get some glass going or whatnot. And then we're going to get all the rest of the stuff here and replace the skips that I broke. Of course, I'm like, what, 1 shy? I'll have to go and get more of those later. But we can replace more skips, and then we can work on getting these honeycombs turned into honey and wax. So we make that into candles. We make the candles, put them with the plates and some quartz, and then we can make some lanterns here. Alright, so I finally figured I should probably formalize the pit kiln. I don't do too much, so I didn't want to make it super huge, but I am going to be using the same tile for the building, so I figured it'd be kind of nice to put this blue-gray shingles up here, and I wanted to make, I made a mistake. I want to make little smoke holes. Nothing that the wiring could go through, but little holes anyhow. Down there, and I haven't quite decided where to put all the blacksmithing stuff, but I'm thinking somewhere over here. I got 1 lantern there done. Got our flax replanted, and when going around exploring and looking for stuff, finally found some trees. Got some cuttings. They're not high survival rates, so you have to do a lot. Ah, darn. Pomegranate. That was one I found further south, so did not last. And that one's not there. Oh, I think I lost all of them. Well, I might have to find another one at some point. We'll have to see if these other ones will survive, and presumably they get bigger enough, we'll cut them. Alright, so I got a little bit more laid out of what I want to put here. And I have a lot of this, I like to call it just pitlandite. It can be powdered into nickel, and then powdered nickel gets used for a whole bunch of different kind of dyes and stuff. And I looked at the purple and I'm like, oh, purple, but when you fire these, they look a little different, a little darker. So I'm thinking of using the purple clay shingles for the roof of my house. So there's a lot of it in my area. So I think I will take advantage of that. Not sure what kind of woods and stuff I'll use, but we'll see about that. Thanks for watching, and see you later.